What's going on, everyone? So, I want to talk about the what if narrative, right? Because, you hear myself, many others, right? They're talking about, hey, Lakers could potentially be a contender. They could potentially win an NBA championship. And it's because of this, and this, right? If all these things happen, right, then all of a sudden the Lakers could be the best team in basketball. And I get it. It's what if this happens? What if that happens? What if? But here's the thing. One, every team in the league, every single one of them, from everybody, from Cleveland to Houston to all of them, are all what ifs except for one team. And that's the team that won the championship. The only team that isn't a what if is OKC, because OKC just won the championship, which means that we all know that they can do it again and that they're capable of doing it and, very likely could do it again. Now, you could argue there's a bit of a what if with them too, because it's like, okay, well, they need to basically have the same type of run again, right? But they've at least proven it. They're actually proven, right? Where you look at teams like the Lakers, right? They're in the mix of everybody else. Houston, right? There's a ton of what ifs about Houston. What was Houston's biggest problem last year? They couldn't score the basketball. They couldn't shoot the basketball. Yes, they got Kevin Durant. He's going to help a ton. I don't want to undersell that. But he's only one guy. And if the Lakers landed Kevin Durant, what would everyone have been saying? He's 37 years old. He's injury prone, right? Lakers think that they're getting Kevin Durant from OKC. But he goes to Houston and everyone's like, Houston's best team in basketball. Right? But who's their other scorers? Houston is banking on the what ifs of Alperen Şengün and Amen Thompson elevating their games, right? That Şengün goes from, whatever it is, 18, I think it's like 18 and a half points a game to like a 23-point a game guy. That Amen Thompson is like, who are their shot creators? They don't have a true playmaker. They have a bunch of, they're going to be the best defensive team in all of basketball without a doubt. But a lot of their guys can't shoot. A lot of their guys, they don't have that true playmaker to put it all together. Like, Fred VanVleet can initiate, he can run the basics, but he's not Chris Paul out there willing, he's not Luke out there or LeBron or somebody out there doing that. Right? Denver's the team that I think is the scariest now because I think Cam Johnson is going to be more stable, right? Where Michael Porter Jr. is a little all over the place. However, the ceiling is higher with Michael Porter Jr., right? Cam Johnson is going to be more stable for them, but the upside isn't as high as it is with Michael Porter Jr. Because there's games where Michael Porter Jr. just goes and wins them by himself. Guy just goes off, can't be stopped, can score, shoot over the top of everybody. Like when he's in and he's zoned in, that guy is ridiculous, right? Where Cam Johnson, he's not as good of an all-around offensive player, but he is that catch and shoot 3-point shooter, better defender, right? So there's some upside there. Tim Hardaway Jr., he's been a journeyman the last few years. Like he has his games, he has his moments, but he's incredibly inconsistent. Like he'll completely disappear some games. He'll even shoot you out of games because he gets all confident and like, I'm going to start jacking up shots. Right? And Bruce Brown, I've been talking about the Lakers landing Bruce Brown for 2 years. And everybody and their mother told me that Bruce Brown's washed and he's trash and Tyler, you're an idiot and all this other stuff. And now he goes to Denver and everyone and their mother's like, whoo, Denver, what a pickup. Bruce Brown, man. It's like, am I living in the Twilight Zone here? What is going on? He goes to Denver and he's the best player in basketball. He comes to Lakers, he's trash, right? Make it make sense. It's ridiculous. All of these teams, all of them. Clippers, right? Clippers had an amazing offseason. Clippers on paper are probably the best team in basketball, but we have seen every single time. Paper doesn't always translate. Lakers should have had a couple more championships if paper translated. Phoenix should be getting ready to win their third straight NBA championship rather than, blowing it up if paper counted for anything. Clippers probably would have multiple championships by now because they've been the best team in basketball since 2011 or whatever, right? Like since Lob City. Every year, Clippers are the best team. Every year, the Clippers are going to win. And every year, they're first or second round exit. Every time. Right? Like, yes, their roster's deep. But as much as everyone wants a deep 12-man, 13-man roster, the reason it's hard to do that is because guys don't get to play. and guys that should get to play and guys that would be playing elsewhere. You think, like Dunn is going to be okay being the 11th, 12th guy when on any other team he might even start? Like on the Lakers, he probably should start. He probably won't start, but he probably should start, right? As that legit 3-and-D guard. Derrick Jones Jr. going from being a starter in Dallas to now being the 9th man. You think he's like, is he going to be okay? Maybe everyone is just happy and it's copacetic and Ty Lue is able to kind of figure it all out. But there's also potential that guys start getting, antsy and want to play and they're not getting minutes, and now agents start to call up and now agents are like, dude, my guy, or guys are in contract years and it's like, dude, come on, I'm trying to get my guy back. Like, all of those things play a factor. Not to mention Kawhi Leonard hasn't been a model of health. Bradley Beal hasn't been a model of health. And, James Harden, same thing. And what I think is funny is like people like Clippers, watch out for the Clippers. And look, they might be. Again, I don't know. Houston, same thing. Denver, same thing. I don't know. It's a lot of what ifs, isn't it? Right? And here's the thing, though. I also think it's funny about the Clippers. Everyone talks about Luka and Austin Reeves defensively. But you don't hear anybody talking about James Harden and Bradley Beal as their backcourt. How was the Clippers so good last year? It was their defense. They were one of the best defensive teams in basketball. For a good majority, they were the best defensive team in all of basketball. Now their starting unit isn't as good defensively, right? Now, don't get me wrong, John Collins, if he buys it, like there are guys that could be good. Clippers might be very good, but there's also a good chance that it's a lot of what ifs. What if Kawhi stays healthy? What if Bradley Beal stays healthy? What if James Harden shows up in the playoffs? What happens? What if? Denver, same thing. Right? What if? Houston, same thing. What if Şengün becomes better? What if Amin Thompson becomes better? What if Kevin Durant doesn't get hurt and stays healthy and continues and doesn't fall off a cliff game-wise? And like all of these are what ifs. So the thing that I think is funny is like when I'm talking about, hey, if X, Y, and Z happens for the Lakers, they can win a championship. And people go like, oh, that's ridiculous. Okay, so then everything for every team. Then why are you talking about another team being better than the Lakers other than OKC? Why are you talking about Denver? Again, all those teams have the same what ifs. They're to varying degrees and different, criteria, but they're all the same. Every team. The only team that could say we're good enough to win it is OKC. The only team that could have said that they got close was Indiana. And Indiana lost two of their 3 top players. So they're probably off the table. Everyone else is a what if. Everyone else needs to prove themselves. Right? So like people are talking about, Lakers didn't improve. If any other team in the league, any other team landed Luka Doncic and DeAndre Ayton in a 4-year window, 4-month window, correction, not 4-year, 4-month window, every single person, including Laker fans, will be talking about how Rob does nothing and that team just became a contender. But because it's the Lakers, they're trash. The Lakers added as many guys as anybody outside like maybe Houston. Houston added like 6 new guys. Well, I mean, a lot of them were like re-signs. And then it was like Dorian Finney-Smith, Clint Capella, and then, Okogie, Josh Okogie, right? Like, so it's really like 3 guys. Most of the guys, Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant. So 4 guys. So they added 4 guys. Are they sexy names? Sure. But every single player that they acquired, if the Lakers acquired any of them, everyone would have been talking about how that they're trash. I mean, Dorian Finney-Smith came to the Lakers, and everyone was like, Dorian Finney-Smith is washed and trashed. He goes to Houston, and everyone's like, wow, dude, that give him the trophy now. Really? Right? Like, again, same thing with Denver. I already broke down the Denver side of it and players that I talked about, and everyone told me I was crazy and that those guys are washed and, they wouldn't trade him, or sign him or whatever. And he goes to Denver, and everyone's like, man, what a great pickup by Denver. Okay, Bradley Beal. I talked about bringing Bradley Beal to the Lakers. Everyone said he's washed, trash, doesn't make sense, right? The fit is awkward. The fit's not awkward with the Clippers. With Kawhi Leonard, who doesn't pass, and James Harden, who, he can pass the ball, but he also is best with the ball in his hands, and he's going to be the point guard and has the ball in his hands all game. But, right, if it was the Lakers trash, right? Like, all these teams have questions. Lakers were the 3 seed last year and solved every need that they have. Solved the center position with literally a top, 10 center in basketball? let's at worst, maybe top 12. Can you name 11 other guys better than DeAndre Ayton? Like, honestly, you get the trolls that are like, oh, Clint Capella. Like, stop. It's like, or Isaiah Hartenstein. Stop. Like, again, talk about a guy. They didn't just get a center. They got arguably the best center that they could have gotten for Luka. They added a legit 3-and-D wing in Jake LaRavia, who's already a B-plus rated defender. I did an entire video breaking down Jake LaRavia's defensive stats. So if you don't believe me, go watch that video, and I break it down in detail how good he was defensively and how Memphis was a plus 12 with him on the basketball court and a minus 7 with him off. And how Memphis had a 108 defensive rating with Jake LaRavia on the basketball court. Right? But that means nothing. Oh, and by the way, he shot 44% from three-point range with Memphis. But you're right. That means he's not a 3-and-D guy. Right? Okay. A Jude Theroux. Okay, he's unproven. I will give you that. He's a rookie. Who knows? But he was looked at as the most NBA-ready defender in the draft. He's a hyper athlete who has ball handling skills, do a little bit of everything. And he's not going to be asked to be a superstar. He's going to be asked to play a specific role, right? Like play defense and defend. Lakers are going to be healthier. They have JJ Redick, who's going to be better this year. Luka's going to be healthy, motivated, hungry. Like, again, I've talked about the what ifs for the Lakers 1,000 times, but I just think it's so funny that there is this like, oh, well, it's always what if for the Lakers. It's always what if for every team. Literally every team in basketball, it's a what if except for one every year. The team that won the championship is the only team that's not a what if. Everyone else fell short, right? Like, are we playing for, playoff seeding, or are we playing for championships, right? Especially the Lakers. Are the Lakers playing for playoff seeding or championships? Exactly. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. I enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.